The psychology of commanding respect. Have you ever felt invisible? Dismissed? Like your value goes unnoticed no matter how hard you try? The truth is, respect isn't given. It's earned in the very first seconds, long before you speak a word. Your presence, your voice, your boundaries either demand respect or quietly destroy it. Today, I'll reveal 5 psychological triggers that will make anyone respect you, because you deserve to be seen, heard, and respected. The power of first impressions. Before you speak, before you share your ideas, before anyone understands your character, people judge you. This judgment isn't conscious, it's rapid, automatic, and often irreversible. We're wired to make snap assessments based on physical presence, body language, and posture. These impressions form in milliseconds and influence whether someone sees you as worthy of respect or easy to dismiss. Psychologists like Solomon Asch and Nalini Ambady have shown through decades of research that first impressions are incredibly durable. Once formed, these perceptions color how people interpret everything else you do. If you're initially perceived as confident and composed, your actions are viewed through that lens. If you appear hesitant or insecure, you're filtered through a narrative of weakness. Respect doesn't begin with merit. It begins with presence. Trigger number 1, commanding presence. Presence isn't about beauty, height, or physical traits. It's about how you occupy space and signal control. This concept, rooted in evolutionary psychology and Machiavellian theory, recognizes that in early human tribes, those who moved with calm assurance and maintained deliberate control were naturally seen as leaders. Our biology hasn't evolved much since then. One of the most powerful indicators of self-respect is how little you try to prove yourself. Individuals who are calm, quiet, and observant command more attention than those who rush to speak or explain themselves. As Niccolò Machiavelli argued, power must be projected, not pleaded for. A prince who appears powerful often commands more obedience than one who is powerful but appears weak. Body language is foundational. If you consistently slouch, avoid eye contact, or use small erratic gestures, you unconsciously signal that you're not in command of yourself. People interpret these behaviors as weakness, even if you're intelligent and well-intentioned. Instead, maintain a straight but relaxed posture, move deliberately rather than frantically, and hold direct but non-aggressive eye contact. You'll be seen as more trustworthy and respectable before you say a word. Spatial awareness matters. People who take up space comfortably without shrinking or fidgeting are perceived as high status. This doesn't mean being aggressive. It means being at ease in your environment, sitting back without slouching, walking with intention, and using open, confident gestures. You don't need to dominate others physically, but you must dominate your own space mentally and physically. Trigger number 2, controlled speech. Language is a weapon, a mirror of thought, and a form of psychological signaling. Those who use speech with discipline are perceived as leaders, while those who speak carelessly, emotionally, or excessively lose authority without realizing it. People don't just listen to your words. They judge the emotional posture behind them. Controlled speech signals internal strength. It implies you're not speaking from insecurity, desperation, or need for approval. It suggests you're thoughtful, intentional, and mentally composed. Consider the difference between saying, "I'm not sure, but maybe we could try," versus "we'll try this approach next." The former floods with uncertainty and invites challenge. The latter, even if imperfect, communicates leadership and confidence. Verbal economy is essential. Saying only what's necessary signals organized thinking and self-worth. Overtalking, repetition, and nervous chatter suggest insecurity and a need to earn attention, rather than command it. Your tone and pacing matter. A lower, steady voice conveys more authority than a high or fluctuating one. Avoid rising inflections that make statements sound like questions. Pause before speaking. It signals comfort with control and reduces fear of judgment. Intentional silence is powerful. Those who speak less but with impact often command the most respect. Speaking last or only when necessary aligns with social dominance hierarchies, showing calm assurance and making others eager to listen. Or trigger number 3, unshakable boundaries. Respect cannot be demanded, begged for, or negotiated into existence. It's earned and often enforced. One of the most powerful ways to trigger deep respect is to possess strong, visible, and non-negotiable personal boundaries. These boundaries, psychological, emotional, and behavioral, serve as invisible walls protecting your dignity, focus, and time. More importantly, they send a clear message. I don't tolerate disrespect, not even in small doses. In psychology, boundaries are the outward expression of self-worth. A person who values themselves doesn't allow others to violate their mental or emotional space. They're not hostile, but they're firm. They don't raise their voice, but they raise their standards. Non-reactivity is key. When you remain calm, composed, and emotionally steady in the face of disrespect or provocation, you communicate that your state of mind is self-regulated. Most people live in emotional reaction to others. They explain, defend, argue, or collapse when pushed. When you don't participate in this cycle, you automatically rise in status. As psychologist Albert Ellis emphasized, no one can make you feel inferior or disrespected without your internal permission. If someone speaks to you in a demeaning tone and you respond with silence, rather than anger or appeasement, you signal that their behavior is irrelevant to your self-perception. Boundary mastery is about refusal, not confrontation. You don't need to argue, you simply don't. Participate in dynamics that lower your value. If someone disrespects your time, you end the conversation without apology. If someone crosses a personal line, you address it with clarity once and enforce the consequence quietly. Learn to say no clearly without guilt or long justification. The need to explain every no comes from fear of being disliked. But people respect those who can refuse without tension. The simplicity of refusal is disarming and reflects a strong internal compass. Trigger number 4, social calibration. Powerful individuals who effortlessly command respect share one psychological trait: strategic social perception. This is the ability to accurately read others' emotions, intentions, and vulnerabilities in real time, then adapt accordingly. Social calibration isn't about manipulation, it's about precision. Knowing what to say, when to say it, and when to say nothing at all. It's the difference between blunt force and surgical influence. Observation over expression. In any social interaction, most people focus inward. What should I say? How do I look? Do they like me? Calibrated individuals do the opposite. They scan the room, analyze body language, track subtle cues, eye movements, tone shifts, micro-expressions, breathing patterns. Carl Jung wrote that people wear personas, social masks designed to hide their true selves. The socially calibrated person doesn't get distracted by the mask. They look for incongruence between what a person says and what they signal. Adjust your behavior with precision. Respect is often triggered not by dominance, but by knowing exactly what someone needs from you in that moment and either giving it or withholding it strategically. This is strategic empathy. You don't absorb others' emotions. You analyze them and respond with intent. When others see that you're emotionally independent, that their moods don't pull you in, they begin to seek your emotional lead instead of expecting you to follow theirs. Trigger number 5, emotional independence. The final trigger is perhaps the most powerful. Complete emotional independence from others' opinions, moods, and behaviors. This doesn't mean being cold or uncaring. It means being self-contained and internally driven. People respect what they cannot control or manipulate. If you're emotionally dependent on others' behavior, if their approval determines your mood, you'll always be at their mercy. But if you remain centered, polite, and immovable in your values, others quickly learn that you command respect whether they like you or not. This emotional independence is what separates leaders from followers, respected individuals from those who are overlooked. On the path forward, these 5 triggers work together synergistically. Your presence creates the foundation. Controlled speech builds authority. Boundaries enforce respect. Social calibration ensures precision. And emotional independence makes it all sustainable. Remember, respect isn't about being liked. It's about being valued. It's about others recognizing that you are a person of substance. Someone who cannot be easily moved, manipulated, or dismissed. Start implementing these principles today. Your presence, your voice, your boundaries, they all matter. You have the power to command the respect you deserve. The question isn't whether you're worthy of respect. The question is, are you ready to claim it?